Good morning. Good morning. I kind of been glued to the Olympics since I got home. It's pretty fun to watch. I don't know if you guys have been watching the gymnastics and the swimming, and I don't know. I've watched a little volleyball. Yeah, it's been fun. But something struck me. I was watching the women's gymnastics, and they interviewed Simone Biles about her twisties, and she was talking about how, you know, she had a bad vault or whatever it was, and she just didn't feel like she was worthy of being a representative of the United States because she couldn't do it. And it's just mind blowing when somebody that's in the best gymnast basically that's ever lived can get that turned around in her head. And so it kind of reminded me of the malas, which in yogic theory are things that kind of shroud us. So I like to think of them as cloaks. When you get like this and you feel like you're not worthy, not good enough, you feel like you're separate and different. And so there's three different malas. And that must have been what was happening with Simone during that time. But the first one is called Anava mala. And that's when you're feeling unworthy. And when you're feeling unworthy, then you have these feelings of insecurity and even sadness. So yoga is a tool that I use. So I like to think of it as a cloak or like dust that gets on you and you forget who you really are, that it doesn't matter what just happened. You are brilliant the way you are and you just move on. And these malas can get in the way, and everybody has them at certain times. So yoga is one tool I use to kind of brush that dust off. And I hope you feel like that. So Anava Mala, feeling of unworthiness, feeling whenever you feel separate or different, that's one of the malas that work on you. So please close your eyes and let's dust ourselves off this morning. Take a long, slow, deep breath. And then as you exhale, just open your mouth and let it go. Do that 2 more times. And then just go back to a regular breath. And turn to that inner self, part of you that's always shiny and perfect. And please bring hands to heart center. When we get feelings of unworthiness, insecurity, we remember that some of the tools that we use to dust ourselves off, to uncloak ourselves, that we're able to really notice the beauty and the grace within us and within others. And please lower your hands, open your eyes. Well, let's get to that practice, which hopefully will get us even more dusted off. So just bring the soles of your feet together. Just kind of feel nice and tall, just warming up here. Open the knees. See how that feels this morning. Don't try and push yourself too deeply, just getting some of the cobwebs off. And then go ahead and bring the knees up and stretch the legs long and wide. Maybe inner spiral a little bit. Sit up nice and tall. And just twist to your right side. And twist to your left side. Coming back to middle, maybe fold forward a little bit. Just check in. Press the heels down. Good. And then sliding the feet together. If it's too much for your hamstrings, you can keep your knees bent. Just make sure you feel nice and tall. And then twist to the right again. Twist to the left again. And maybe fold forward a little bit. See how those backs of the legs feel. I'm feeling really tight after riding my bike that long. Good, and then come on up and go ahead and come to all fours. Just do a few cow and cat. Maybe some side stretches in each one of those positions. Good, and then go ahead and curl the toes under. Walk your hands back, maybe sit on your heels, stretch out the feet. Lift your heart a little bit. Good, and then bring your hands down. See if you can do this fun transition. Just shift your heels back and come to a forward fold. And slowly roll up to standing. And now separate your feet a little bit further than hip distance. Get a really good solid base. And then pretend like you just landed one of those gymnastics moves and stretch your arms up. Yeah, nice tall chest is what they kept saying. Good. Stretch up a little higher. And then just start to do a backstroke, one arm at a time. You're swimming now. We're going back. We're all competing in the Olympics. Good. And then switch, swim, do the crawl. You can even turn your head side to side to breathe. I don't have a good swim move at all. Good. And then pause and stretch your arms up again. And then some of those funky things that they do, the moves with their arms, they do some graceful things, but it's like, it just adds grace to the movement, right? And then pause, step your feet now side by side and just firm your legs and then stick that landing again. And then the back stroke. You have to really work at staying stable. And I always kept hearing him say, she's not breathing, front stroke. And I'm like, yeah, she's not breathing. She has to breathe. Good. Stick that landing again. And then make some funky, graceful moves with the hands. Yeah. They do. I see them do this. I see them do this, all kinds of like, yeah, I can't do it graceful like they do. Good. Stretch it up, stick that landing, and then fold forward. See how it feels with your legs together like that. And then step your feet hip distance apart. And we'll see if we can come back down to that toes curled under position, sitting on your heels. Yeah. And then walk your hands forward and come down to the mat. Stretch your feet long and just kind of explore cobra a few times. Oh, been a long time. Okay, one more time. And come on down. Turn over onto your backs. I have to scooch a little bit. And extend your right leg and then just see if you can grab maybe your interlace behind your calf or your ankle. Maybe even grab your foot if you're open enough. And then extend your left leg. Big stretch. And then just very slowly move that leg kind of side to side a little bit, just kind of grounding the femur bone in the socket. Good. And then hold on just with your right hand. Bring your left arm out to the side. Really ground that left leg down and just bring the right leg to the right side. Just think outer spiral as you open up. See how that inner leg is feeling. Keep the whole left side of your body grounded, especially that left leg and arm. And bring it back in. Bend the knee, just hug the knee in. And again, just kind of move it side to side. And we'll switch. Now bring the left leg up. One side will always feels different. You can grab the calf, the ankle. You can even grab right by the knee, wherever it works for you, so that you can extend the right leg. And then very small movements Just kind of feeling out that hip socket, moving it side to side. Bring your right arm off to the side and move the left leg to the left, just keeping the right side grounded. I like to think of outer spiraling that leg a little bit. It feels safer. Feels like a deep stretch though, right? Good. Bring it back in. Bend the knee. Just hug the knee in. Moving it side to side. And then hug both knees in. Grab the shins and roll up to seated. And come back to all fours. Hands, let's grab your blocks and bring the hands on the blocks and slightly in front of your shoulders. And then lift up to your first downward facing dog. Just do a little exploration there. Bending one knee and the other, just feeling your shoulders. Feeling a nice long spine. And then extend your right leg and step it to the outside of the right block. And just kind of think I want to keep my shoulders and my hips square. Lower the back knee. The right kneecap and toes point the same direction. Maybe you can widen the knee out to the side. Maybe you can lower to your elbows. Humble pose. I always try to hug the knee and the heel towards each other, but it's really the whole foot and the whole leg, just to keep everything stable. And remember, you have to keep breathing. You want that dust to blow off of you. Keep on using the breath. Good, and then bring your right hand to the right knee. Just engage a little twist. Maybe curl the toes under on that left leg, lift the left knee. Good, and then touch both hands to the blocks. Lift the hips up and back to step back to down dog. Let's do that on the other side. Extend the left leg. Step it to the outside of the left block. Lower the knee when you're ready. Just kind of check your alignment. Lengthen your spine. Maybe lower to the elbows. Keeping the hips and the shoulders square. The only thing that's kind of out of alignment is that left leg is just kind of off by itself. And then bring your left hand to your left thigh. Engage a little twist there. Thinking long back of neck, long spine. Maybe lift the back knee. up to you. Good, and then touch both hands down. Lift the hips up so you can step to a downward facing dog. And then step your feet a little closer so that your heels are grounded down. You might have to bend the knees, but you feel grounded through your feet. And then reach your right hand across to the outside of your left shin and engage a little twist. So just pull yourself underneath. Keep your left armpit lifted. And breathe. And then come back to center and switch. Left hand reaches across to the outer right shin. Just pull yourself underneath. The hips and the legs don't change position. Just a twist. Big stretch. And unwind. Step your feet back a little bit. Come down to all fours. Just move your blocks out of the way for a moment. And come to regular downward facing dog. Check your hand position. Maybe sway your hips side to side a little bit. Good. Come forward to a plank pose. Lower to the mat. Lift to cobra. And lower. And then push back to all fours, keeping your feet stretched long. Sit back on your heels again. Stretch out your calves and your quads. You can do some funky hand movements if you want to. Oh, that feels good. I needed that one. Maybe stretch back further if that feels good for you. And then come forward. Level your feet to one side and come to seated. I'm going to have you flex your feet and bring the feet a little wider than hip distance for that big shoulder stretch. So right hand to the side, left hand to the ankle or foot. Tuck your chin, draw your sternum back. Just really stretch out the whole left side of your body. Step on the gas. Good, and switch. I kept doing this on ride break because my neck and my shoulders that got really sore. Good. Come on up. Grab behind your thighs. Bring your feet a little closer. Lean back. Lift up to Navasana. You can keep the knees bent, the shins parallel, or stretch them up. Let's see how it feels. And then just engage a little twist, maybe hands to the right. And hands to the left. And back to center. Now cross your shins. Come to the bottoms of your feet. See if you can stand up. Just landed that gymnastics move. Good. Come to the front of your mats and bring your blocks beside you. And inhale, stretch up. Big landing again. And then fold forward. Pranam. And fold. Step your left foot back to a deep lunge, just a regular deep lunge this time. Take a moment to feel that. Lower the back knee. And take your time really feeling the stability of your legs. You might bring the hands to the knee. Keep everything lifting. And then extend the arms. Yes, I did it. I am brilliant after all. Just enough. More breath. Okay, touch down. Lift the back knee, step back to a down dog. Extend the left leg, bend the knee, and just open up to a wild dog. Keep the right armpit lifted. Good. Square the hips, step that left foot through. Keep that lunge. Lift and lower the heel a few times. And lower the back knee. Take your time, making sure you're stable, or you stretch up and then hit the landing. Yeah. I am so stable in the lower body. I can shine out. Finding your breath. One more breath. And touch down. Good. Lift the back knee. This time step forward. Forward fold. Let's take a moment here. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Pick that landing. Good. Hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Ground the back foot down. Bring the left hand to the hip, the right elbow to the knee. And open up to Parshvotana or Parshvakonasana. You can use the block. You're not feeling stretched out enough. Maybe extend the arm and stretch it by the ear so you can really shine out and let your heart be seen. And breathe. And slowly reach forward and down to that block. Turn the back heel up. Step forward. Switch. Right foot steps back. Ground the back foot down. Right hand to the hip. Left elbow to the knee. Take your time. You want to make sure you get that stable base before you shine out. Maybe extend the arm, stretch it by the ear. And breathe. If you're not breathing, nothing will go right. Good, reach forward and down to touch the block. Turn the back heel up. This time step back, down dog. Bend the right leg, bend the knee. Keep the armpits lifting, open up, wild dog. Square up the hips, step the right foot through, deep lunge. Turn the blocks up to the higher height. And think I'm just gonna lift the hips up and back to straighten my right leg. The hips stay square, shoulders stay square. Parsvottanasana, and you're almost in your torso is mostly parallel to the floor. Think long spine. I'm going to keep that and then maybe fold deeper. And bend into the front knee. Step forward. And let's do that with the other side. Step the right foot back, deep lunge. And think everything, shoulders and hips stay square. Move the hips up and back to straighten the left leg. And fold. Parsvottanasana. Good, bend into the front knee. Step forward. And then just move your blocks forward of the outside of your feet. So you're in a kind of an L shape, hopefully. And come all the way up to standing. Now the blocks are just there in case you need them. So you're going to inhale, stick the landing. Feel really stable in your feet and your core. Bring hands to heart center. Now step your right foot back just so you're on the ball of your right foot, but you feel the weight in your left foot. And then just lean forward enough that you can engage your core. So it feels like you're leaning forward the same amount that your leg is angled back. And then maybe keep going. Just lift the leg as you lean forward. Your blocks are there in case you need to fall out of it and find them. Warrior 3. And slowly come on back out. And step forward. Let it go. Yeah, it feels really nice when you stick that one. And just appreciate that. But if you didn't, it still feels good. So let's do the other side. Stretch it up. Stick the landing. Hands to heart center. Step the left foot back. I always have to bend my standing leg so I can really feel grounded in all parts. Then lean forward. And then just go slow to move into that position. And even extend your arms if you'd like. Stick that land in. Good. And then slowly come back out. And step forward. Yay. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Step back, downward facing. Adho Mukha Svanasana is the Sanskrit word for downward facing dog. And just do little adjustments so it feels really stable. I'm going to have you hold it. And just breathe through it. It's one of the best all-around stretches. Really can get the dust blown off right off you. Stay for 3 more breaths. And then your next inhale, come forward to plank. On the exhale, lower down. Cobra when you're ready. And lower down. Good. Push back to all fours and come to a seated position. If you want to sit on your blanket, you can. Now we're going to do those 3 poses we did at the beginning and see if they feel any different. So bring the soles of your feet together. I always have to kind of lift up, make sure I have the sits bones underneath me. And then for me, it's best if I bring hands under ankles. You decide. And then think that long and strong core with the sits bones grounded, allow me to then use my core strength to widen the knees. And then if you want more stretch, you keep that length in your spine and maybe round forward. And slowly make your way back up. So good. Bring the knees up. Stretch the legs wide for Upavista again. You want to get the heels on your mat. You can turn sideways too. Because we're just gonna find that nice, tall, long spine. So I feel my sits bones. I feel my heels grounded. I get super tall. And then twist and face your right leg. So one hand on either side. You can feel your belly turn, but this leg stays stable. And then maybe you fold, maybe reach across to the ankle or the foot. Fold a little deeper. Draw your low belly up, lengthen out through the top of your head. If I can get my foot, I like to press the foot or my hand into the foot and then resist with a foot, and then I can feel the spine lengthening. Good. And come on up. Good. Come back to center and then switch. Make sure you're grounded. Everything's perfect. Face your other leg and go for it. Go slow so you can be really mindful. You're just stretching your torso long over that leg, keeping the other one grounded. Breathing. You can press your hand into your foot and resist with the foot. Feels really good. And slowly make your way back up. Now just centering yourself, feeling that heels pressing down, sits bones down, fold forward. Full Upavista Konasana. Come on up. Lie the feet together. Sits bones underneath, heels pressing down. You can keep the knees bent if your hamstrings don't like that and you can't keep the chest lifted. And then stretch your arms up. You nailed the landing. Your chest is tall. The spine is long. And then maybe fold forward wherever it feels like a good stretch for you. Again, if you can reach your feet, press your hands into your feet, resist with your feet, lengthen your spine out long over the legs. But breathe. Then come up part way, bring your right hand off to the side, grab your right foot with your left hand, and then do a little twist. And come on up and switch. And come on up. Bend your knees so you can scooch forward enough. Lengthen your spine, lift to Navasana. And then slowly go to Ardha Navasana, rounding the upper back, lowering the legs, coming all the way down to the mat. Hold off as long as you can, and then come down. Stretch your arms up. Yes, I landed that. Good. Lengthen both directions. And then bring your arms to cactus. Bend your knees. Bring them wide on the mat. And just do a few windshield wipers. So both knees to the right and up and over to the left. Just alternating, calming. Feeling that good stretch. Good. And then when you've had enough, bring the feet right under to the knees, the arms by the hips. And just lift to Setu Bandha, just to see how it feels. You feel really good with everything stretched out, solid through the feet. And go ahead and lower down and stretch out for Shavasana. Hopefully, you can find a really comfortable position. Every exhale gives you a new opportunity. Relax a little deeper. Crossing the bridge to a better world begins with crossing a bridge inside myself from addictive mental patterns of fear and separation to enlightened perceptions of unity and love. I've been trained by the world to think fearfully, and today I choose to think with love. To achieve a miraculous experience of life, I embrace a more spiritual perspective. Otherwise, I will die one day without ever having known the real joy of living. I am committed today to seeing everyone and everything as part of a greater plan for me and for them. May everyone I see and everything I do be used by my higher mind as a lesson in love. May fear thus dissolve in my presence and lose its grip on my life. It's from Marianne Williamson. Start to notice the breath moving in and out again. Always been there. Start to move in small ways. Slowly making your way back up to seated to become ready. And hands to heart center. Thank you for helping me brush off some of the dust. And I appreciate all your shininess every time. Namaste. Good, good. Well,